Ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues, thank you for being here tonight. I want to begin with a fundamental question. What happens when a political leader who has risen to power on a wave of powerful rhetoric and captivating theatrics suddenly makes a social security decision so consequential that no slogan, no spectacle, and no bluster can conceal it? We may be moments away from discovering that answer because Donald Trump, whether you admire him or despise him, has just made a stunning move on Social Security that no one is prepared for. Not his own party, not his opponents, not the media, and certainly not the millions of seniors who depend on the program for their survival. And what makes this moment unprecedented is that this isn't a simple gaffe or a misstatement. It isn't even another dramatic outburst. No, this surprise goes far deeper. It is structural, economic, and historical all at once. Once again, Trump is relying on the dangerous illusion that Social Security, a program built on decades of careful policy engineering, can be treated like a casino, a place for high-risk bets, dazzling announcements, and short-term wins. He believes that he can offer huge promises on Social Security without acknowledging the long-term consequences. And herein lies his miscalculation. He genuinely believes the fallout will never reach him. History is filled with leaders who believed the rules of economics could be bent at their will. Roman emperors believed bread and circuses could hide societal decay. The British Empire believed endless wealth would always flow to their shores. Today, Trump repeats that same mistake, imagining that sweeping Social Security changes can be made without triggering a reckoning. He is gambling that massive tax cuts, rising debt, and shrinking revenue can coexist with promises to expand, protect, or overhaul Social Security. But that reckoning is inevitable, and the political system is trapped. Republicans cheer him on, hoping for immediate gains. Democrats, instead of offering a bold vision for the program's future, remain cautious, waiting for Trump to stumble. The media turns the issue into political theater, ignoring the fact that Social Security's stability is at stake. Meanwhile, seniors, the people who work their entire lives, are left holding the bag as their retirement security becomes a political pawn. Every new promise is coming soon, but it never materializes. This is not just political negligence. This is Social Security malpractice. And when the next economic crisis hits, the American people will see clearly that this system was never redesigned to protect them. It was redesigned to protect those at the top, the same people Trump has served beneath the illusion of populism. Trump's Social Security strategy has always resembled less a thoughtful policy and more a high-stakes gamble. It looks bold on the surface, but underneath it is reckless. It offers the appearance of protecting seniors while ignoring the structural weaknesses that threaten the program's future. For decades, Social Security has been stressed by demographic shifts, rising life expectancies, stagnant wages, and political neglect. Trump did not resolve these issues. He intensified them by pushing massive tax cuts. Payroll revenue, the lifeblood of Social Security, has fallen short of long-term needs. By supporting deregulation and corporate expansion, wealth has flowed upward, leaving working Americans unable to save, more dependent than ever on Social Security. And now Trump's new big surprise is being sold as a lifeline, when in reality it may accelerate the program's fragility. Corporations and wealthy households will benefit, as they always do, while seniors face uncertainty masked by bright political theater. This national gamble is dangerous because it is built on an illusion of permanence. The illusion that the Social Security Trust Fund will not face depletion, that demographic pressure will magically disappear, that revenue gaps will fix themselves. But reality cannot be delayed forever. When the downturn arrives, the weaknesses Trump ignored will emerge. An aging population, shrinking worker-to-retiree ratio, rising reliance on Social Security, widening inequality. These cracks cannot be covered with campaign promises. The tragic part is that the people most dependent on Social Security, those living paycheck to paycheck, cannot gamble with their future. They cannot absorb benefit cuts or delays. They cannot weather sudden political shifts. Yet Trump's surprise assumes they can. History teaches us that when people are repeatedly promised security and repeatedly denied it, the consequences are explosive. Anger grows, stability shatters, and political illusions collapse. The central paradox is that Trump positioned himself as the champion of seniors. He promised to protect Social Security more than anyone. He claimed he would never touch benefits, but his actions, tax changes, revenue reductions, payroll proposals, have placed the program under greater strain than ever. This is the essence of the populist illusion. The appearance of protection without the substance, the gesture of loyalty without the long-term plan. The symbolism of defending seniors while the structural foundations weaken behind the scenes. Trump used rallies, speeches, and emotional appeals to portray himself as the defender of retirees. He framed every criticism as an attack on seniors. He promised expansions that had no funding source. He offered reassurance instead of solutions. Meanwhile, the reality continued. Social inequality widened, retirement savings collapsed, wages stagnated, and millions became more dependent on Social Security. The illusion of protection existed on TV, not in policy, because the most powerful illusion of all is the belief that symbolic action equals material security. But when benefits are at risk, when trust funds run low, when future generations face instability, the illusion shatters. Trump's Social Security surprise is being presented as a gift, but it may be the beginning of the most profound shift in the program's history, and the public is not ready, because illusions can hold for only so long before reality crashes through. We are approaching that moment. New York State Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance Commissioner Barbara C. Ginn backed the governor, saying, "Households that rely on HEAP, most of whom include someone who is an older adult, young child, or an individual with a disability, have already had to wait too long for this vital assistance as colder days and nights become more common." The delay by the federal government in releasing the funds has created an unacceptable amount of uncertainty for these households who must wait for financial assistance to help heat their homes during a time of rising energy prices, she added. We thank Governor Hochul for her efforts to secure HEAP funding and help households reduce their energy costs. If Trump's government does not release grant funds for HEAP by November 24th, the program opening will continue to be delayed. Governor Hochul's move has ensured the program will be ready to open for applications within 48 hours of receiving the grant funds, so eligible New Yorkers can access their heating benefits as soon as possible. Spouse support. Grieving Americans eligible for $255 survivor payment, as Social Security outlines 3 key requirements. The SSA offers benefits to surviving spouses, even if they are divorced. Eligibility for the benefits depends on several factors, including age, employment, and benefit status. On top of benefits, the SSA offers a lump sum payment of $255 to surviving spouses. The administration advises calling as soon as possible to discuss the lump sum payment in addition to the monthly benefits you and your family can receive. A lump sum death payment may be made on the Social Security record of a worker who dies either fully or currently insured, the SSA explained, noting the payment is made in addition to any monthly survivor's insurance benefits. W2 is eligible for survivor benefits. Surviving spouses can be eligible for survivor benefits at any age if they are caring for their deceased spouse's child who is under the age of 16 or developed a disability before the age of 22. Some can receive benefits as early as age 50 if they are unable to work or have a disability. Otherwise, the program is available for those 60 and older. If you already receive retirement or disability benefits for yourself, you may be eligible for survivor benefits if they are a greater amount than your own. However, you won't receive both payments. Instead, you will receive a higher total amount. Surviving spouses can receive between 71.5% and 100% of their deceased spouse's Social Security benefits, which are based upon an individual's lifetime earnings.